years ago, when we discovered that on social media, not only did you have to be high tech, but you also had to be high touch, we started creating concepts around this and making sure our contests were also high touch, not just high tech.
Welcome to the Magnificent Marketing Podcast, where we interview the top marketing experts in the world to keep you up to date on all the changes and best practices to help you grow your business and stay on the cutting edge. Welcome to the show.
I'm here today with Christopher Wick, and Christopher is the founder of SMM International, an international social media marketing firm, and is responsible for consulting with clients to ensure that their online reputation and internet presence serves their business objectives, such as revenue growth, lead gen, and growing the bottom line. Christopher has been consulting with businesses since 2009 in various industries, such as the legal industry, hair care, public relations, restaurants, management, and the self-help sector. Christopher spends most of his time traveling, speaking with clients and companies on a mission to help business owners grow their companies. He has released his most recent book in the United States, Canada, United Kingdom, Denmark, France, Spain, Italy, Netherlands, Japan, Brazil, Mexico, Australia, and India. He was recognized as the #1 international bestseller for his book, How to Use Social Media to Grow Your Business and Make More Money, where he gives us secrets away for local and online businesses. And today we are going to be talking about creative ideas to use social media for your business. Christopher, how are you doing today?
Doing fantastic. Thank you so much for having me on, David.
No problem, no problem. Excited to dig in because I feel like, and I like both types. We do a lot of podcasts that are high level, 10,000-foot overviews, strategy, big picture stuff. But then we also have a lot of podcasts that, result in a lot of takeaways and a lot of things people can apply right away. And I feel like this is going to be the latter of the two. And I love both, but I do love giving people some great takeaways. So very, very excited to get going here. We're going to be digging into various social media platforms, and digging into each one and seeing what we have. So let's just start with the big bad giant. And I say bad in a facetious way because I'm a big fan of Facebook. So would love to just get rolling here and see what you have, some various things, tips in regards to Facebook. I'll let you kind of start, and then I'll follow up here with various aspects I'm intrigued to get your take on.
Yes. Well, you're absolutely right. The big bad giant is Facebook, and we say bad just sarcastically. It's a wonderful platform. So Facebook was designed to connect people, and over the years, my goodness, that's exactly what it's done. We've seen people be connected all over the world in an instant. 20 years ago, we couldn't pick up the phone and call Thailand or call someone in India. Now, in a moment, we can instant message them, and that's wonderful. Now, that being the mission of Facebook, to connect people and bring communities together, that influences our marketing. So when our clients want to go market on social media, we have to keep that in mind. So often as business owners, we want to, of course, make the sale. But you really have to think way differently about that in terms of how you're going to be communicating with your audience and how you're going to be turning them into a customer. First, you have to connect. And that's what's so wonderful about Facebook is Facebook is really all about engagement. And for anyone who knows anything about our agency, we always say engagement is the most important metric to social media. So you've got to keep that focus.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I'm with you. We always try to different ways to get that engagement ball rolling, and then it really can take off because of the way Facebook functions with their organic algorithms that cater to that, and engagement is what they're mainly looking at. Various types of it. So let's touch on Facebook Live.
Okay.
Let's dig into that. Tell me some stories there. Tell me what you've done, how you've seen successes, best practices, just the whole works. Let's dig into that.
I'll give you some real-time information. Just yesterday I was watching, as I'm sure you can relate to this, but as a social media consultant, we're always studying and we're always watching. And I was watching a business owner do a Facebook Live video, and I loved the technique that they use. And I'll share this with you. This is fresh off the press because this just happened yesterday. I've never seen it done before. So this business owner was using Facebook Live as an opportunity to engage people. And I loved how she planned it because remember, engagement should always be our question. We're always asking ourselves the question, how can we engage people? Success and ROI will always be the answer. So engagement has got to be your question and your outcome. So all week, she was going to do a Facebook Live video on Wednesday. So all week, she was doing this contest on what to name her animal, and she was going to release the name of her animal on the Facebook Live video. So when I saw this all week, her planning for it, I thought, okay, what is she doing? You know, she picked a camel for Wednesday, so you could have that correlation between Wednesday and Hunt Day and things like that. So people were guessing on what to name this camel. And it was getting kind of funny. People were getting competitive, getting really adamant and passionate about what they should name the camel. So I thought, okay, what is she doing? Because what on earth does a camel have to do with her business? So then I watched her Facebook Live video, and she was so clever. So she said, thanks so much for tuning in. I'm so excited to release the winner of the contest who named my camel for Wednesday. And before I release that, I want to talk to you about a cause that's very important to me. And her pitch was about donating to charity for her birthday. I thought it was brilliant because she didn't tell us, hey, tune in Wednesday, it's going to be my birthday, or tune in Wednesday, I'm going to tell you about a special charity. She was doing all this engagement over this camel, which seemed kind of silly, for a wonderful cause. And she had so much passion, she had so much emotion about this cause and wanting to dedicate her birthday to this cause. So she wasn't promoting her business, she was promoting this cause in honor of her special day. That is a fantastic example of how to use Facebook Live. I was very impressed, and I'm so excited to share that with you today because that's what your viewers need to walk away with. That's how to engage people on Facebook Live. Engage them, make it fun, even if it's silly, and then with passion and great emotion, really hook people.
That is awesome. Now, with Facebook Live, you know, just to kind of educate everybody on that. I mean, is it a one and done deal? You know, sometimes you have live webinars, but then you have recordings and stuff like that. Is Facebook Live one and done, it's live and then it stopped, or do you get to, you know, push that out even further, you know, the recording of the Facebook Live or anything like that?
You know, when it comes to the technical side of things, there are ways to redistribute your Facebook Live videos and record them and then upload them on YouTube. What we know for sure about the principles behind Facebook Live is it's just like a relationship. So those who are doing it the most frequently, you know, I have a couple of partners where they focus on every day they go live and they add value to their audience, or twice a week, or 3 times a month. And really, when you set that consistent schedule, you're going to build that relationship with your team. So not only will you have the one-off of, hey, tune in for my video this Wednesday, but also you'll have, okay, people are going to expect you to go live, and they're going to get really used to watching you.
And that kind of, you know, digging into, you know, Facebook Live, you know, Facebook groups, right? So, I mean, you know, Facebook groups are fantastic, either to build your own or to reach out to ones that are built or whatnot. But it's obviously a challenge as well to build, you know, an additional group. You know, it's hard enough to build your own, you know, presence on your company page or your personal page or whatever. But then to get that offline and get people over to a group is, you know, it's another undertaking. So I know Facebook groups there's so much benefit to them. But yeah, let's dig into this a little bit. I want to, because Facebook Live is a function to speak to your audience. And if you have a group audience, then, you know, then it's gold, right? So let's dig into this. Tell me how you've seen people build their groups, how people have worked these groups, or maybe, you know, the ancillary, you know, potentially reaching out to other group members on collaborations. You know, spill your beans here and tell us everything you've seen out there.
Well, you're definitely right. Facebook groups are certainly a way to go and build your community and build your tribe. And it's fantastic for brand management and increasing your engagement in terms of people actually buying into what you do. It can be very difficult to start it, and most people hesitate to start a group because they don't want to have 3 people in their group. You know, you, their friend, their mom. They want to, you know, they want to be somebody. They want to have that status. And really, my encouragement to you and to all of your listeners is to start today. Because building a group, that's where you build your own community. So you don't pay to advertise in a group. You can't boost a post. It's all very organic. You're showing up for people who believe what we believe and centered around a certain cause. There are a few things I've noticed that work extremely well with groups. And so the first thing would be leveraging your network. So a lot of the groups I'm in, and I'm in a ton of Facebook groups because that's what we do, they have thousands and thousands of members. How'd they get there? Well, when they first started, there was only, 3, 4, 5, 100, 200. And then they started saying, if you know someone who would be a great fit in this group, recommend this group to them. Don't just blind add people because that's totally irritating. But recommend and say, hey, David, I'm in this group about social media marketing. I think you'll really benefit. Why don't you come and join me? And then it's a personal connection. And that's how these groups really gain momentum, is because everyone's asking someone to join. And then the group admin would make a contest and say, well, David referred 10 people to the group this week, so today we're going to give them a special something. So that's the first thing, is really using leverage and referring people to your own group. The second thing is having really good content. Here's what we know for sure. Selling in groups is going to tune everybody out. You're going to get blocked. People are not going to like you. But when you add value, no matter what industry you're in, people want to listen because they want to learn. And they want to know that they have some type of access to you through this special group. And then the third thing is making sure it comes full circle. What is the group purpose? What is the outcome at the end of the day? Are we networking with one another? Are we trying to do a challenge, like a fitness challenge or a diet challenge? Are we trying to spread awareness about a charitable cause or an event? We've got to have that focus so we know when we're adding value, when we're referring people, we know at the end of the day it's because we want to accomplish this in our group.
Now, let me talk about that, because I've had lots of discussions, with clients about, potentially creating groups and doing all that. And it definitely needs to, obviously, you need to add value as you're doing it. But tell me some of the value adds that you've seen to get people to sign up and see value in joining a group and potentially spending their time there. Like some basic ideas we've had is like, yeah, hey, we need to do like they have those things on Reddit, the Ask Me Anything type of stuff, right? So, I mean, those could translate to Facebook Lives or whatnot, but, those are cool, like exclusives, right? Exclusive Ask Them Anything once a week about this topic that's why you're all here to discuss, right? So, in and around like that kind of idea, how have you seen people get these groups built? I mean, you mentioned the referral one, which is awesome, but what else?
Well, you said a really good word, and you said the word exclusive. And one of the groups I'm a part of, in order to get into this group, you had to do something to show that you were worthy of being in the group or you could add value. And when you have that exclusive feel, that's going to create a really, really great edge in what you're trying to communicate. Because we all want to be in the special group. We all want to be VIP. We all want to be in the secret societies. So when we have things like that, we have an exclusive feeling. So now anyone can join the group, but they've got to know somebody. That creates an edge. And then when you have things like Ask Me Anything or Thursday at noon, I'll be going live and answering all of your questions about social media or business, or I'll share with you great secrets and what we've done to be successful. You've really great culture around what you're teaching and what you're getting your audience to engage in. So doing those things are very effective, but with always keeping in mind that this content just can't be found anywhere, because what's the point of being in a group? So again, that comes back to delivering phenomenal value to your audience and really thinking about what they need. If you say, hey, ask me anything about this topic and no one cares about that topic, no one's going to show up. We've got to make sure we're tailoring it to connect people, because again, Facebook is to connect people with one another.
Yeah, now here, and this is almost like a personal thing, but I'm sure I'm not the only one thinking it. Let's maybe just brainstorm together right now, because this is a big one, as far as we're talking about creative ideas to use social media for your business, right? And we'll get into, ideas about quizzes, polls, and some details like that, which is going to be fun to talk about, don't get me wrong. But, leveraging, Facebook or these groups, the exclusivity of it all. What are some of the things that you've seen? Like one of the main things I just keep coming to is, like if we're building this group, we're teaming up with NASP right now, the National Association of Sales Professionals, right? So it's obvious that, hey, if you buy this product, do this, then you get in this exclusive group. And then within that group, we are at least for sure going to have this, like a once a week hour chat with the super sales leader and do an ask them anything about like a particular topic, like closing techniques or warming up prospects, organization, whatever it is at the time. And then also we had an idea of obviously bringing in other outside experts to ask, again, same idea, ask them anything, but again, it's this other, potential expert, right? What else? What else can people do to really delight these groups, keep them engaged outside of, posting great content, doing these, potential Facebook Lives with the, ask them anything type of chats? What else have you seen? What else can we do to really, enhance the value of these groups that, people are exclusively joining?
Great question. So one of my favorites is polls, because it's so easy for our followers and our group members to answer it. So I write the question, I give the options, all they have to do is click a button, which is super cool, and then comments below they can explain why they select that answer. Polls should really be looked at least once a week in groups, because everyone has an opinion, and of course, they love to share their opinion. So we want to target. Also, when you have something that creates ease of use, like A, B, or C, you're going to get way more engagement. We even do that with some of our Facebook contests. Instead of nominating someone or giving a really lengthy answer, just select A, B, or C, because you're going to get way more engagement because people can do it quickly. So in groups, polls are very, very effective. Another thing I really like to do is when someone shares a trending topic inside the group and everyone knows that the conversation is private, so they can talk about this. We see this with one of our franchises, with every time they're about to release a new product, they discuss it in the Facebook group. No one else can see it. It's totally private, totally confidential, and then everyone can give their feedback on what they think about the new product launch.
I love it. Now, you mentioned contests. Tell me some different contests you've done. I'm sure, Chris, you've forgotten more than you know, right? So let's remember that. Let's remember how much that, as you were getting, going and learning, and you learn, other people haven't gotten to your level here, right? So we want to speak to everybody, and the way I learn a lot of the time is through examples, visuals. I'm a very visual type of learner, and when I hear something, I can connect the dot and apply it to a completely different industry, right? But the original idea, if I've never heard it, I don't know it, right? So that really helps me, and I think other people are similar to me in that way. So give us some examples of these contests that you're running, because it's one thing to say, run contests. It's like, okay, let's do one for, do this and win a pair of shoes. Get some juice and creative juices flowing here. Talk about contests. Which ones have you seen work really well, and some cool ones that you'd like, John?
Yes, that's a very, very good place to focus. So we use contests big time with all of our client campaigns. It is the #1 engagement generator. So in your business, in your followers' businesses, and your listeners, think about what you can give away. I'll share a couple of great examples and awesome success stories, because contests are definitely where it's at. With one of our clients, we help lots of franchise restaurants, and restaurants is a great industry to do contests, because the best thing that you can give away and the cheapest thing that the business owner can give away is their food. So it creates a great opportunity to put product into people's experience and then to bring them in. Years ago, when we discovered that on social media, not only did you have to be high tech, but you also had to be high touch, we started creating concepts around this and making sure our contests were also high touch, not just high tech. So we started with a little pizza store, and their biggest challenge was to connect with college students. So what we did is we had a mascot go out on the university campus and dance around as Mr. Pizza Slice. And students would take a picture with the Mr. Pizza Slice, share it on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and then they were entered in to win free pizza for an entire semester. Now that sounds like a lot of pizza for a college kid, but it was only one pizza a week for 16 weeks, so it was really inexpensive for the owner. Well, what happened as a result of this contest? We had a ton of engagement online, tons of pictures on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, tons of engagement on hashtags, because we were engaging the students. Then we selected 2 students as winners. One girl, one boy would each get the free pizza for an entire semester. Now, something really interesting happened here. The day that we did this contest, and this was mid-September, we saw a huge spike in sales in mid-September. Why do you think that was?
That's when school starts, right?
Yeah, so it's around that area, August, September, when school's starting. But even though we weren't promoting our sales and we weren't promoting, hey, buy now, because it was on everybody's mind, people were ordering in because they were thinking about it. It was top of mind awareness. So yes, we gave out 16 teachers for 2 students, but also we gained so much more in terms of sales because of what we were doing. It was a phenomenal contest, and that really laid the ground for what we do in our contest now. Even if it's not in person, even if it's only online, we're always thinking about how can we engage people.
And let me just touch on a tactical execution to follow that up on is you can target or retarget to people, and you can build an audience based on engagement. So, you have like custom audience based on website traffic, based on this. You can build an audience based on engagement on that. So then you can take that and, the magic comes in getting the engagement, and that's where the creativity and people like Christopher Wick and their ideas and getting things going here really help out. But then you don't want to just stop there. You want to, follow that up, and you can target those people with coupon offers or just ads and awareness ads in general, whatever. So anyways, just a pointer about that. Awesome. We'll keep going. I want to hear more. I want lots of ideas here on the contests because that's a great idea, and I think people can oh, okay, I can deal with that, and on certain types of businesses. Maybe let's maybe scale up a little bit to a B2B type of thing. Have you done any contests for B2B clients, or is it mainly for B2C? What's your take there?
For sure. Lots of contests for B2B. In our business, we will give away free social media makeovers, and that's awesome because what we do is we have people submit their social media profiles to us, and then we get to select who's most worthy of a social media makeover. And then what happens is then we get a ton of contacts saying, I need help on social media. So we get to connect with the right people. I heard about a great idea yesterday for a contest. I'd like to share this with you because it's real time. So we just onboarded a new client, and he works in HVAC, which is heating and air conditioning. I'm in Houston, and he's in Phoenix, so it's really, really hot, so we've got great expertise in HVAC. He does a contest, and he's done this for over 10 years. He does this at trade shows, and now we're going to help him transfer this to social media. But he does a contest of who has the worst AC unit. And it's hysterical because people submit in photos of the worst possible AC units. And it's funny because some people have really beat up AC units, some people have funny stories of what happened. So then what does the owner of the HVAC company get? He gets a ton of contacts of people saying, I need to replace my AC unit. So he selects one, gives them a free unit, and then everyone else gets a special offer. I thought that was a hysterical idea because it's fun and it's funny. We're all poking fun our AC units, and then it's gold because he gets all those contacts. Just like when we do this free social media makeover, people are saying, oh, I need a makeover. Look how bad my graphics are, or look how bad my content is, and then we get to rescue and come save the day. Super cool.
Awesome. Good stuff. Anything else you want to touch on? Any other thing that comes top of mind before we move on?
What's common about each of these contests that we've studied, so we did a pizza example, we did the free social media makeover example, and we did the who has got the worst AC unit example. It's just like what we were talking about earlier when we began our interview today, talking about the woman who said, name my camel, and I'll release the name of the camel on Facebook Live this week. The reason why these things work is because we're engaging people at a level where we're doing something that's fun and it's kind of break from the norm. Our time flies by. The weeks are getting quicker and quicker. The months are shorter and shorter. And in this day and age, we have such a unique ability to publish great content and connect people and really build a community. And what's common about all these contests is every way, whether it was in person or online, we're engaging people. And that makes them feel connected, and it makes them feel important. And when you have that approach to anything that you do on social media, you will be successful.
Mm-hmm. No, I love it. You got my juices flowing, really. I'm making all my notes for personal use for our clients right now, actually. It's really, and I assume that's happening for other people as well. So that's awesome. All right, let's move on to Facebook Messenger. Big, all the rage, chatbots, the AI tie-in. You have some companies that do, these chatbots, and Facebook is, I think, moving closer and closer towards adding their AI component in it all. But really, though, in my opinion, Facebook Messenger, of course, once, for large opportunities, you want the AI component, the artificial intelligence, and have it speak intelligently. And it's going to keep taking time for that to, evolve to where it really works. And obviously, you always want to be upfront and let people know that the Facebook Messenger or whatever chatbot is actually a chatbot, so they don't get frustrated. But you do your best to answer basically the 90% of the most common questions to kind of help people and move people through. But how else are you seeing Facebook Messenger? I'm a big fan of any chatbot being Facebook Messenger. It's what people are, commonly used to, and it's easy. So I'm a big fan of this, but I would love to get your take on how you're seeing companies utilize and potentially speak to, maybe the whys of why certain companies are using it, so people can see if it's for them or not. You don't want to go to the trouble of putting a Facebook Messenger on your site if you're not getting much traffic, because it's a bit of effort to do and could be a little bit of cost involved. But if you're getting lots of engagement on your site and you're getting lots of traffic, you have to assume people have some common questions that you can answer, right? So let's talk about this a little bit. What's your take on Facebook Messenger, and how have you seen companies best utilize it?
So this is a fantastic topic because this is so current. The number one tool in communicating with people is not Facebook Messenger or not email or not chat or not IM. The number one tool to communicate with people is where they are. So we want to meet people where they are. We want to meet our customers and our prospects where they are. And as we know, with Facebook growing and growing, we've got billions of people on Facebook. So we want to meet them where they are. So this is a very effective tool if you're in a business where they're on Facebook. So restaurants, hotels, things like that, where people are on Facebook and they're submitting customer service issues, a wonderful place to be. It is a fantastic opportunity because, again, our goal is to engage people. And if they're on Facebook, we want to engage them. And if we can handle their issues better, for example, there was a hotel company where they did their hotel bookings through Facebook Messenger. So you message in and you say, hey, I'd like to stay at your hotel from the 27th to the 29th. And they said, great, we'll start the booking for you now. Now they're not using one of the travel sites. They're not even using their website. They're using Facebook because that's where people are thinking about them. That's where people are looking them up. So it works very well for them. In a B2B business, Facebook Messenger is even more powerful because people have specific questions. The other day, I posted in a group, so we're talking about groups. I posted in a group and I said, hey, I'm looking for an expert in this area. Please comment below with their information. So then this company says, oh, please PM us. We've got an expert we'd like to get in touch with. So we were already off to a great start. Then when I messaged them in, I said, hey, I'm looking for the expert in this area. And then they sent me back a generic form. And I said, no, y'all asked me to message you in. I'm looking for the expert in this area. And then again, they sent me back a response that has nothing to do with that. And I said one more time, I said, y'all commented on my post asking me to message you for this specific thing. Then a human finally responded and said, hey, this is Nicole. I'd be happy to connect you. So for 90% of people who have a common question, like what time do you close or where are you located, a chatbot can be very effective. But then when you're looking for something very specific, if you lose that human touch, you may miss out. Now, I'm persistent, so I messaged several times because I knew I was messaging for a specific purpose. What we know about users online is we've got short attention spans, and people are likely to give up quickly. So in your business, have a really good flow to what you're doing. So if it's a commonly asked question, make sure that's apparent. Or if it's something very specific, make sure to have a human close by to really take care of that user.
And correct me if I'm wrong, if somebody's dipping their toes in Facebook Messenger, would you agree or disagree on this advice? Think about the 90 most common questions, 90%, the questions that fall into like the 90% ask type of thing, right? And set those up in your Facebook and have answers for those, right? You're not going to have every answer. You're going to grow. You're not out of the box, out of the gate. You're not going to have everything. You're going to find other questions that commonly come up. So before you even put it up on there, answer like those 90% of the most common questions. And then as you see a question pop up, the script needs to be, oh, I'm so sorry I don't have that. shoot an email here, or contact us here or whatever, and we'll be happy to get a live person to help you out, right? And then you can go back into your scripts and then start answering those questions if it's worth it to you, if it's a common enough question, or if you see it asked a second, third, fourth, fifth time or whatever. Would that be good advice, for getting people out of the gate, or do you have anything to add or
disagree? 100%, you're spot on. Yeah, your strategy is spot on. That's exactly what we recommend.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and I think the main point of there is don't get scared away from having all the answers. You can have the common default, I'm sorry, we don't have that, but here's where you can get the answer. And I think that's where a lot of people are scared to get going. I don't have all the answers. Well, that's fine. You're still gonna knock out 90% of them, right? So it's cool. So just be transparency is the new marketing, I guess, right? So it's all good. Just be transparent, let people know, people will appreciate it, and it's all good. All right. I think we've talked about Facebook a bit here, and let's just go to its somewhat twin sister brother here, Instagram. Facebook owns Instagram. A lot of the great, amazing targeting capabilities, but it's still a different platform. You still need to utilize it differently. There's still additional opportunities to use it. So let's move on to Instagram here, and let's start with shout outs, which are like collaboration involvement. First of all, tell everybody what a shout out is, and then how have you seen people best utilize these?
So when we're doing a shout out, you mean when someone tags someone in their post?
Yeah, I believe it's like a collaboration deal where somebody does a shout out for you, or you do a shout out for somebody else.
Yeah, spot on for sure. So the wonderful thing about Instagram is the visual component and connecting people with what's going on in their daily lives, their daily routines. Awesome. And then with connecting on communities. So if a celebrity shouts out another celebrity, both of their audience are now collaborating and seeing one another. This works really, really well for local business. And how we use this is we'll help the local business find people or businesses in the area that they want to cross-promote with. And so, for example, a pizza restaurant will give a shout-out to a nearby hotel or a nearby dentist office to talk about special offers as they're both promoting for one another. And then you're piggybacking off of both networks. So each business gets great benefit, which is what I really appreciate about it, because, again, you're connecting people, you're engaging, and then both businesses or individuals will benefit as a result of the shout-out.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's just, and for the sake of how much time we have, Christopher, today, I definitely want to move on and dig into some specifics. So with shout outs, I just encourage everybody just to, the fact that we're just bringing it to your attention, I think is going to be helpful. So just, Google, Instagram shout outs and start looking at, because there's so many different things that you can do there. And we could spend an entire podcast just simply talking about that. So, for the sake of time, I'm just asking everybody just go look for Instagram shout outs, see how other people are doing it. But it's something you need to keep in mind, especially if you have some good partners, some good collaborators, because that's really it's free. It's free. It's a way to generate business, and we've seen it work really well for certain clients that they've basically done it on their own, their own relationships, but we've seen it work really well. What about like videos on Instagram, best practices, various types of videos maybe? Again, we're here to talk about creative ideas, so we're not going to want to get into tactical execution too much. But it still would be helpful for you to maybe talk about, the time, like the length of videos that work best potentially, but then the various types of videos you've seen people utilize successfully on Instagram.
As a rule of thumb, I always say for social videos, keep it anywhere from 60 to 90 seconds for like a good intro video. But, one of my great idols in the marketing community is Gary Vee. And Gary Vee says if you have good content, it doesn't matter how long your video is. So when clients are starting out and on your social media networking, you're just starting to try some things, start out with a 60 to 90 second range to where you're going to do a quick little clip of a video, maybe promote something that you're going to do, have a longer video, something like that. But start out small. But then when you've got really good content, it doesn't matter how long it is. If you're engaging people, if you're adding value, you can do a 5-minute video, a 10-minute video. I've seen some videos go as long as an hour on social, and they've got great viewership because it's captivating. So as a good practice. This helps our clients with creating good videos. So one, where is your business visual? So for a construction company, that's not very pretty, but where is it visual? For an auto company, there's not, I hope I saw an auto client say, well, our business, we're doing oil changes. This isn't very visual. I thought, oh my gosh, you're dealing with cars. That's the most visual thing to so many guys out there, where we've got auto and we've got cars, we've got really dream cars, things like that. Think about, where is my business visual? So it doesn't matter if you're a dentist, auto shop.
Let me touch on that. Let me touch on that. Let me touch on that. You bring a great point. I mean, you can do those time lapse videos, right? So it could be like, if you're doing a car repair or if you're doing a car oil change. And again, this is somewhere where we've turned recently, and we're not even going to work with people who aren't buying into this, because you need a collaborative effort, right? Unless you have the biggest, craziest budget in the world, and we can send videographers across the country and all over and do all this stuff and do it all for you. That's going to be a big client with a big budget, and yes, you probably want to do super high quality stuff, but I mean, for this, you could have oil changes, and your thing is like, what's the thing about oil changes? They take too long, right? And you're sitting there forever. And if you could video, and your thing is, hey, obviously you have, you got to work on your reviews, make sure you're, never forget in sales and marketing, it's really about the product and the service and what you're delivering. So, you can't put lipstick on a pig and think that's going to, be pretty forever, right? You need to make sure your product. So I'm assuming that you're good at oil changes. I'm assuming that you have a good star rating, okay? So that's an assumption, right? But now your value prop is we're fast, we're quick, right? You're in and out. Film somebody with personality, like saying, the mechanic, like, hey, how you doing? I'm Joe, and then you just film them do their thing, and then you time lapse it, and you show 18 seconds from in and out, or you see the customer in and out in 22 minutes. That is a story that is. It tells a lot, right? I'll turn it back over to you, but is that kind of what you're feeling as well?
For sure, absolutely. You're spot on.
And do it with an iPhone. iPhone's completely social media quality worthy, just so we're clear. You don't need a high production value. You need creativity. You need to tell a story, tell your story.
And data is showing us that videos that are more homegrown are actually getting better engagement. And it's wild. People think, I've got to get a video editor, I've got to get a videographer. You don't. Make it organic, authentic, and you're going to get way more engagement.
Yeah, and it's not really a 22-minute video. It's a 30-second video. It's showing them running around, and then you stop it, and then the guy waves, you're done. Like that kind of stuff. You do need some editing. You need people who know what they're doing, but it is very low production cost compared to actually, what you really, would normally spend 5 years ago, because you didn't have iPhones with this kind of quality. You had iPhones, but you know what I mean. So, okay, well, awesome. Yeah, let's get some other video tips, because again, we're here to give creative ideas. So, that's an idea. What were some of the other companies you were touching on with videos and stories? And let's just get people thinking the right direction and really help them out.
We've seen great success with videos with consultants or coaches or anyone who's an expert in their field, because you get the special one-on-one time with them. And then if it's a live video, then you can answer questions, which is really cool. So everyone's an expert in something, without a doubt. You're an expert in something. There's something that you do that you're better than anybody. And how can you educate on that? So whether you're a social media consultant, whether you're a business coach, whether you're a health coach, get on the video and answer what are the most common questions, or what are some of the misconceptions, or what are the secrets that you can share with us. And then you get that special one-on-one time with that person, and that's a really exciting opportunity.
Okay, awesome. So in the sake of time, I'm going to skip to some specific questions here. But let me just say, I know we've just touched on Facebook and Instagram, but we really touched on ideas. We really touched on various things, because you can utilize all these and then, post them on Snapchat or Pinterest, and obviously YouTube, and even LinkedIn, and you can do, you can take these ideas, these video ideas, directing people to a group. If it's LinkedIn group you want to do, that's fine. If it makes more sense for you over there, the properties all are similar, in everything. So that kind of maybe segues nice into like the whole omni-channel approach. how people were, cross-use. I'm not saying to use every single platform, but you're probably utilizing more than one. So, and omnichannel could be email, could be in that too, right? So, you have your social platforms, you have your email. I guess that would encapsulate it. So, how have you seen brands and companies utilize various social platforms in unison and work together?
I'm so glad that you're asking this, because most people get overwhelmed at all of the options. And what's great is you can have great synergy over all the networks and have a common thread. And we have to remember that the users behave differently on different platforms. Twitter is rapid. Facebook is where we're spending time connecting, getting to know and reading. Instagram is very visual. And every business or every expertise, we all have those quick things that we can share and rapidly. We have stories that we can elaborate and talk about on Facebook, and then we have a visual component. I would recommend for all of your listeners and our clients, we always recommend pick the one that makes the most sense for you. Pick the one that you're going to really specialize in, and then pick your follow-up, the one that is second best. But don't try to be everywhere on everything. If you're trying to be on, over 10 platforms, you're going to spread yourself way too thin, and I don't recommend that. So really focus on what's most important for you. Right now, what we're seeing, and of course this could change tomorrow, or it could change in a couple of weeks, Facebook is really the strongest social media platform for engagement and ROI, which is why we focus the majority of our efforts on Facebook. So always start there. Also, it's the easiest to learn out of all of them because it's been around a little while. And so start there and then think, okay, what could be an extra component? Is Snapchat a good fit for you? Is Instagram? It really depends on your audience.
Mm-hmm. And so basically, you have your main one, and then you use the other ones to drive, hey, we're doing this over here. I mean, is that fair?
Yes, for sure. Yep.
Okay, so pick your leaders, one or two, most likely one, and then utilize the other ones to distribute the content. And if you're doing a Facebook Live, tell them, hey, we're doing a Facebook Live, or join our exclusive Facebook group for the I will say this though, I do love the exclusivity about it, and one thing that we're definitely going to do is when for this one company that they you sign up for their course. I'm going to have the thank you page be, hey, get exclusive, with that comes your exclusive access to your Facebook group, or we might even put that in the sales message, right? So keep it exclusive. You don't want to blast everybody, but, if you do have engaged followers, you can follow up and say, hey, thanks for your comment, join our exclusive group or whatever, right? So, that's just a way to use these other ones to drive to your main one, and it doesn't need to be Facebook. It could be LinkedIn group, or your LinkedIn presence could be where you're B2B, and then you use Facebook to drive over there. So just use them in unison. Pick one or two that you're going to put the most emphasis on, and then just use the other ones to help you out. So cool. Now let's talk a little bit. Let's move again back towards like these quizzes, polls, surveys. I just want you to spitball in 60 seconds. Different quizzes, polls, or surveys that you've seen that you really like, that were really cool. Like, oh, they did a quiz on this, did a poll on this, did a survey on that, and it was really awesome.
One of my favorites of industries to work with is helping restaurants. And we see great success in pizza restaurants asking, what's your favorite topping? A, B, or C, or D. So A, pepperoni, B, cheese, C, pineapple. And we get lots of fun engagement because people are going to easily comment like their favorite. And then some people are going to start talking about why on earth would someone want to put pineapple on their pizza. There are so many fun things to do, and keep it very simple. Keep it very simple for your audience. If you're a restaurant, ask about toppings or sides or food items. Everyone's an expert in food because we all eat it. Things like that. Then with B2B, one of my favorite things to do in terms of quizzes and polls is asking about what's your biggest challenge? What do you need the most help in your business? Because people will definitely bite on that and talk about what they're experiencing in their business and how they need assistance.
Awesome. Let's see here. Just trying to look at, I know we have about 5 minutes left here. Let's just kind of say, if you're talking to a one-person company, okay, or a department that might have all the time needed, because we've said a lot, right? And it doesn't feel overwhelming to me personally because I have a great team that I'm working with. But if I was a one person, I'd be like, all this good stuff, what do I do? What would be one or two items that you would suggest they put into action right away or first?
The first thing is to work with an expert. As a one-person company, you're trying to do lots of things. You're wearing lots of different hats. Reach out, get some help. Number one, hands down, work with an expert. Find a great social media consultant like myself or you or anyone else online. And then the second thing is make a habit. In your business, there is a way that you could be delivering content. Even if it's you running your auto shop, or even if it's you making the pizza in your restaurant, once a day, try to deliver content. Take video, take a picture, share a recipe, share a business tip. So those two things: one, work with an expert. That's invaluable. Leverage your time, leverage your resources. And two, get in the habit of getting content every single day.
Awesome. Consistency is the key. Well, consistency and creativity, I guess we should say, are the keys. All right, crystal ball. I want you to look into your crystal ball, and I want to see if you see or predict any other changes coming up that we should be aware of so we can stay ahead of the curve, just in regard, Facebook's always changing. We just got a message from our Facebook rep talking to us about the new thing that Mark Zuckerberg put out yesterday about, some limitations on third-party data being used, right? And at the bottom of his email, he says, the only constant in Facebook is change. And that is so cool. I mean, so true. And I literally just read that right now. Right before this podcast. So I'm not saying necessary to speak on that, by the way, Chris. I'm just saying in general, what do you see coming down the pipe potentially that could affect how we need to operate differently in the future, potentially?
Well, you're definitely right. You hit spot on. The only thing that's constant is change. We're seeing a lot of changes in the advertising space on where you're going to get your best ROI and bang for your buck in terms of advertising dollars. Here's what we know for sure. Relationships and building connections will not change because of how we're spending advertising dollars and what the algorithm is going to dictate. That's why engagement always has to be your focus, because it doesn't matter what happens on a platform. If you've got a good relationship, you can maintain that versus trying to go out and get other followers. So always focus on building loyal fans and loyal followers, building your brand, talking about what people believe, why they should trust you, why you're the best auto shop, why you're the best pizza restaurant, why you're the best coach, and get that type of attention, because the organic engagement won't fade away. Because if they're liking and commenting and sharing your posts, they're going to continue to see your posts in the future. So that's where we really want to focus our time, is focusing on how can we create an authentic, an organic relationship. And David, you've said it best, doing organic video, doing quizzes and polls, having groups, really engaging your fans that way. That's going to make you unstoppable no matter what changes.
That's a great point. I love that you said that. Yeah, just bring the value, bring the value, bring the value, bring the value, and you don't really have to worry about anything else. Yes, there's always going to be change. Yes, you should always be on top of it. But if you do that, you'll never have to worry about it. It'll just be semantics. Awesome. All right. How can people continue to learn from you, Chris?
We've got a great social media presence. You can look us up on SMM, like Social Media Marketing International, and our website at smminternational.com. Something special I always love to do. If you're listening to this podcast now, whether it's today, tomorrow, or a year from now, let me know you listen to this podcast and we can give you a free social media makeover on one of your favorite social media platforms. Totally free. We'll give you lots of great value and show you how we can spruce up your Facebook, your Twitter, or your Instagram. And you can learn more about that by going to my website at smminternational.com. We've got a little form. We've got a chat box. Lots of ways to get in touch with us. Thanks for asking, David.
Okay, awesome. Well, hey, I appreciate your time today. This was a lot of fun. I have to believe we have given other people some really good things to take away and try. So I really appreciate that, and I hope you have yourself an awesome rest of your day.
Thank you very much, sir. I really appreciate being on. Thank you so much for a great interview.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the latest podcast. Feel free to go to magnificent.com/blog to see the show notes for this interview, as well as those from many other of the world's top marketing experts. Have a great day.